Hi, I'm Diana Montford, the world's first, yes, first, transgender television journalist. Born male, became female. Anyway, my guest is another transgender lady, Miss Brooke Cerda, who is going to tell us all about what she's going to tell us all about. She's a transgender activist. She has started a new group, I believe, and we're going to talk about that. And if you're trans, this is a great show for you to watch. And if you're not trans, watch it and learn something. Okay. So, are you trans? I'm trans.
I'm a very, very proud transsexual woman.
So am I.
Yes.
Sisterhood is powerful.
Exactly. Wow, you just said the powerful word.
Yes.
I think sisterhood is the key to our liberation.
I agree.
I really believe that, and unfortunately, we fall victim of the whole system, like, who is more softer,
yes,
who is more, or who hasn't done enough, or who did too much.
Oh, I've had transgender women come on this show and tell me that I looked dykey, masculine.
Get the hell!
I swear.
I hope you kick him out.
No. That I am unpassably butch.
Oh,
I don't know.
God.
Oh, do I care? Do I care?
No, but it is too much, because not everybody is as sophisticated as we are. We take it from for like whatever we know.
I don't care.
It is, but it is part of the whole system. We are bombarded with all these magazines, all these cosmetics. And a lot of times we fall prey of a lot of doctors.
I had a trans woman on this show, not on camera, but off camera, tell me that I needed a trach shave, that I had an Adam's apple. Now I ask you, do I have an Adam's apple? There is no Adam's apple. Is there?
Give me a... Okay.
Yeah, right. No Adam's apple.
Okay.
But I got these. No. Okay, so...
Hello.
Hello.
That's another show.
Yes.
After midnight.
We're going to let the good times roll after midnight.
That's the pay-per-view? No, I'm just kidding. No, we don't do pay-per-view.
Sure
I don't do pay-per-view.
Speak for yourself.
Speak for myself. I don't do pay-per-view. Well, I'm so glad to have me back. And, we started with this sisterhood. And, this is what we're building. This is why I am an activist. Because I want to, little by little, and we have to lead by example.
Yes.
We cannot be telling them, oh, you have to be kind to your sister. You have to be like...
Oh, break your fucking face. Yeah, you can't say it that way.
No, but people, example is you lead by example, basically. So, and I'm hoping that's going to be part of my legacy, that, I feel like I don't attack people.
Well, this is going on YouTube, assuming that I don't say something so horrible that we can't even show it. And this show will indeed be part of your legacy.
Yes, I mean, and this is what I want. I want people, like, they can say whatever they want, but you cannot tell me that I'm not policing anybody's transness. I'm not, in the business of make anybody unwelcome. And unfortunately, there are even leaders in my community that, they're very irresponsible. I think
they're
that's very
trannier
irresponsible.
than thou, yes.
Yeah, because it's like...
Excuse me, it was a transgender leader who told me that I was dykey, masculine. I don't know what else she said.
Who was this?
I'm not telling.
I'm not telling. I thought you said their name. Yeah, it's like, it's enough division already, and especially men play a big role, because like James Baldwin said, period, that womanhood comes from manhood. I mean, in the sense that man says
that there has to be a sense of opposition.
No, because the men say what is hot and what is not.
I see.
And
I've never been accused of not being hot. I have been accused of being butch and dykey, though. But I don't care. I actually do care, but I'm going to say I don't care because I'm too cool to care.
And I see you like a girly girl.
Well, I do too.
Who knows this? But it's like, I think like this
and by the way, the transgender woman who said that didn't look any too femme herself, I might add.
I know.
So I thought that was strange.
Don't throw stones in the glass house. But I've seen like lately on some of the
I'm
talk
drinking
shows.
Coca-Cola. Yes.
Yes, but
Or
not.
Pepsi, actually.
So I've seen a lot of like talk shows that there's a lot of aggressions. I don't know if I can name in your show. There's a comedian. Anybody? I don't know if anybody. Can I mention that comedian?
No.
Okay.
You have to be nice.
I am being nice, but it's true. At this talk show, I'm not gonna name the network either. They invited this guy and to discuss Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, I love Caitlyn. She
Me
watches
too.
this show.
Me too. I mean, it's
I know for a fact she will, because she's emailed me, so she watches this show.
I mean, this is like what we, you know. I'm a great activist, but she has reached out like way more people that I will ever reach in my entire life, even if I get to live 200 years.
But that's because she was famous as a man.
It doesn't matter. The reasons like she started a lot of important conversations.
I think that's great.
She started, you know, I give props, I give credit wherever credit is due. But I thought it was like, wow, it's just like, this guy got to say, you know, like he said it was Mrs. Doubtfire, that she was too old. That was like a bucket list. It was like atrocious. But
all right.
But then he said that he said that he liked Laverne. Laverne was hot, and it was like, and all these women.
Who was this guy? If he trashed Caitlyn, let's hear his name.
D.L. Hughley.
Who?
D.L. Hughley. I know exactly who. His career is like, yeah. And he goes like, oh, let's attack people who like, you know, and he just.
I do agree that Laverne is hot, but I am not a dyke.
But why do we invite men to say who's hot and who's not?
And if I were a dyke, that would be fine. But I'm a little bit of a dyke, but not totally.
Exactly. No, but I mean, I thought it was like, wow, it's just like, why? I told him on Twitter, I told him, like, why couldn't you just say that, well, she's not my cup of tea, she's not my type. You can say she's not your type, but to say that, oh, she was like too old, that she was like, her transition was like she looked like Mrs. Doubtfire.
She doesn't.
And then like comparing to other women.
Caitlyn looks like Rita Hayworth.
In national television.
The young Rita Hayworth.
I mean, it is atrocious. It is atrocious.
And what's his name again?
D.L. Hughley.
D.L. F.U.
Yeah, and he is in the D.L., I guess. I mean, it says it all. The name says it all.
You should be in the W.C. Yeah, well, yeah.
In the down low. No, I mean, it's just like I became like really upset, and we went back and forth. We went back and forth on Twitter, and of course nobody backed me up because God forbid we cannot go against patriarchal figures. But these women, and they were laughing when they say like Mrs. Doubtfire, they were like, you know, like cackling.
Caitlyn looks like Rita Hayworth.
I mean, it doesn't matter what she looked like. You know, we shouldn't be asking men to validate us. And it's like, oh my God, that man thinks I'm hot. That man thinks like I'm this.
And we all do it.
That.
And we all do it.
And it's like, and a lot of times we don't even care what our sisters tells us.
Yes, but
like if you tell them, oh, you're very good looking, I don't care. It has to be a man.
But I think also that men think, oh, that woman thinks I'm hot. And they don't care what their men friends say. They care that women, excuse me.
Yeah, but the fact remains that, you know, men don't lose jobs. Men, they can look like Sean Connery and still making movies. They're considered hot. I don't know. I mean, you might probably like Sean Connery, but
actually, I met him in 1975, and he was very, very nice to me. Well, and I was beyond obscure. If you think I'm obscure today, 40 years ago, I was really an obscure nobody actress, and he was very sweet to me, very kind, very nice. So I like him as a person.
No, but I'm talking about the double standard. You always see the ladies, you know,
on
dressed
sitcoms,
to the nines.
And on sitcoms, you see this fat old guy with a 22-year-old babe, and that's his wife in the sitcom. And that's
they get a pass. They never lose a job. But what's about it? Even if you want to work in Macy's, you have to wear pantyhoses. You have to wear a certain haircut, makeup. You have to look a certain type.
And
they won't hire you. And men, they don't lose jobs. They don't like that's the difference.
No, but I think if men want to work at Macy's, they have to have a certain look too. I don't think I used to sell cosmetics in department stores, and they give you a little
department, honey.
No, not in the shoe.
They ain't got no hair on their head.
No, but I mean, they used to give you a little list like men must wear this, women must wear that. But the men also had to, you know, they had to wear ties.
They had to wear pantyhoses.
I don't know. Some men must have. Yes, when I transitioned at 15, so I was working as a woman selling cosmetics, and yes, we were expected to look cute. I mean, that's,
to be cute, exactly.
yes,
had
but
to
we
be
were selling
cute.
cosmetics. I mean, the instruments of cuteness.
What about the airlines? What about Hollywood?
Yes, but if we'd been selling tractors, we might not have been expected to wear pantyhose and everything.
I don't know. Have you seen those commercials, car commercials, stuff like that? They always have a
Hi, I'm
hattie.
Cindy. Ride me.
Cindy.
Ooh. Do you have a stick shift, Mr. Man? Buy this car. Yes. Well.
Anyway, so I just wanted to say that, in that sense, we have to go by what men considers hot.
But isn't that all women, cis women, trans
yes,
women,
all women, and there's a war on women. And we cannot separate our struggles as trans
better
women
now than it used to be.
from cis women.
When I transitioned in the early 70s, I mean, just anyone, you'd be walking down the street and a man would rate your hotness level. They still do. But, and if you got a good rating, you thought, oh, I'll wear this again. And if you didn't, you thought, I'll never wear this again. You know what I mean? Or it's my hair.
But how many women they like spin tail like with diets and surgery and everything just because a guy called them you are a grenade, you are this.
You know what's funny? I've seen so many male plastic surgeons who would not even be last call at the singles bar, and they're telling women that, well, my dear, if you had this cut and that changed and.
Oh, yes. They don't even have a filter. They tell you what they think. You would be so hot.
Well, I once went to...
If you only were 20 years younger.
Exactly. I once went to a plastic surgeon on the advice of a famous transgender beauty expert. And I wasn't really into getting plastic surgery, but she said, go, just for a consultation. So I went, and he studied me. I was 23 at the time. It was 1979. He studied my face, and he said, you could be beautiful. You could look like Catherine Deneuve. And I said, but I don't want to look like Catherine Deneuve. And he thought I was just totally insane.
I really want Catherine Deneuve.
Yeah, and he thought I was just a complete fool. He, with a few slices of his knife for a few $1,000s, of course, could just make me look like this totally plastic lady I do not wish to look like. And if I don't wish to look like a totally plastic lady, there is something wrong with me. That's what he thought. Like, he just thought I was an idiot not to want
And
that.
then what? I mean, you look like Catherine Deneuve, and it's just like, who cares? He's not going to marry you anyway.
I don't want to marry, and I'm not going to marry him.
And, but a lot of times, in order for us to...
You keep talking. I'm going to get more Pepsi.
Sure.
Be right back.
I mean, in order to get married or stuff, so you have to go through so much.
This is not product placement.
Oh,
but it was on sale, so whatever. Yes. We'll do it the way they do it on dramas. It's cisgender cola.
Hello.
It has no name, yes.
But, the reason I have this paper right here, let me make sure that people can read. You see Translatina Network.
How can they contact you?
Well, Translatina Network is not my organization. I am a collaborator. I'm a supporter. And hopefully one day I'll be on the board of directors of Translatina Network as it continues to grow. Right now, Translatina Network still doesn't have their 501c3 nonprofit status. It's operating via a sponsorship, like a tax. They're using tax sponsors. That's what it's called. So, but you can make donations and continue supporting Translatinas in New York City, so we can have spaces, safer spaces. We do trips, excuse me. We do outings, and that otherwise, we wouldn't dare to go, let's say, to Philadelphia, to go to Washington, D.C.
Why wouldn't you dare?
Well, a lot of Translatinas, they don't speak English. A lot of Translatina women are undocumented still.
Many years ago, I used to interpret for Translatinas. I was a member of Niagara, and as you know, I speak Spanish. And I used to go to courthouses and have to interpret for Latinas, Translatinas, who got into trouble with the law, mainly because they were translatinas, and they did not speak English. And, you know, like there would be a legal aid lawyer whom the client, this lady, had met like 10 minutes earlier. He wouldn't know what's going on. I wouldn't know what's going on. She wouldn't know what's going on. And here comes the judge, you know. So, I mean, and I had to interpret for them. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I do speak Spanish, and I'm nobody's fool. And that's why I was the only member of that organization, Niagara, who at that time could speak Spanish. So I was elected to go. I had to go to courthouses in every borough and help the Translatina ladies.
Yeah. It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
So a big part of the population, it's we all come like running from our home countries. You know,
Often because of anti-transgender feeling.
Yes. I mean, like, let's say, like, in Brazil, last year they killed 113 women.
Trans women?
Trans women, yeah. So imagine that, and countless of women assaulted, raped. So we are refugees. We come to this country to get a better life. And
But do we get it?
no, because we get stuck. We got to do survival sex because we cannot get jobs. Because if you don't look a certain way, it's impossible for us to get jobs.
In other words, you have to approach the cisgender ideal, the genetic female ideal, to get just a shit job at Hooters or something.
I mean, yeah, but once you get the job, you're still an outsider. And there's no, I mean, even I hear countless of testimonials of, like, you know, how I went to the supervisor and the supervisor did nothing. Or he said, like, you know, oh, maybe it was your fault. You know, a lot of victim blaming. So this is how we're building community. Translatina connects them to legal services, you know, to do our name rectification.
Yes.
Because it's not a name change. You change your name, you get married, stuff like that.
I also
we
used
are
to interpret for the name change clinic.
Yes.
If you speak Spanish and you're in demand.
People are very fortunate. If you speak English, if English is like, people they think, why don't you learn English? Because, you know, a lot of people like, it's like for me, math. I can learn math no matter what.
But you speak perfect English.
Thank you. Yes, you see, the universe gives you certain gifts. But, you know, when it comes to mathematics, it's like,
Oh, I'm an idiot there, too.
There you go. There you go. But
it must be a tranny thing. What kind of...
but it's kind of like, I want people to know about Translatina Network.
Is this all over the country or just in New York?
Right now, it's only New York City. Like I said, we are celebrating right now our second anniversary.
What is their number and their email?
Well, basically, you can go to translatinanetwork.org, or you can call 917-274-7886.
And if you're watching this in another area of the country or in another nation, is there anything they can do? Can they just go on your website just for companionship?
No, what happens that we have like articles, we have like, we write, we're building the family. So we are featured, like in this case, this is
if like, a trans woman is in Spain, let's say, and she's watching this because we're live streamed everywhere. And
they can become a contributor and tell us what's going on. You can write. They can send us videos that we can upload on the website.
Yes.
And so we can find, you know, community. And if you're in the United States, I will advise you to come to New York City, honey, because there's nothing else outside New York City.
How about San Francisco?
California and New York City. That's about it. I know so many trans women in other parts of the country. They say the next trans person, because it's not trans feminine necessarily, is like 20, 40 miles away.
Right.
I know the ladies, my friends in Long Island. Shout out to all my Long Island sisters doing amazing work over there.
Yeah, they have a great group many great groups in Long Island.
Yes, they're like advancing. It's like Translatina. They keep growing and growing. So I will advise every trans person to come to New York City because this is where we have like, we can get hormone therapy. We can.
But we know that that's not realistic for a lot of people. They might have family responsibilities in another state, in another nation. They might have other reasons they can't
I know.
come.
This is why we need to do more work. There's a lot of more work to be done. And I also want to give a shout out to my sisters in Houston, Texas. They just started their own organization against all odds and without any resources.
What's it called?
It's I'm not sure because they're still like working on their name. But definitely contact me, Brooke Cerda. You see the name on the screen. All together, no spaces, at gmail.com. BrookeCerda@gmail.com. Come and I can, if you know anybody in Texas who would like to reach out to my sisters, because they get it from every place, you know, because they're people that like.
Texas is a very difficult state for all women of any stripe.
Xenophobia, transphobia, and I have to say this. I'm sorry. But they tell me that they're being also attacked by Chicanos.
Oh, that's a shame.
The Chicano community, which are the same.
Well, all Latin communities tend to have very macho.
I know, but we are all Mexicans, so what's the deal? I was like, I mean, they actually want them deported as well, just because, they're like second generation, third generation Mexicans, and now like, so it's a very dire situation for my sisters in Houston, Texas. But I'm sure if you just Google it, you can find trans organizations in Houston. There's only 2, as far as I know, and they are mostly like right now they don't have programming. They told me to rectify their name, the lawyers they want to charge them $2,000,
which they don't have.
Imagine that. Just
if you're barely surviving on public assistance, it's very difficult for you and your friends to scrounge up $2,000. All of you put together cannot get it.
And let me remind you, the reason that we are here in this country is because we are persecuted in our own countries, because, unfortunately, we have not been able to do the activism and make people conscious, like in my hometown in Guadalajara, yo soy de Guadalajara, Jalisco. Now we can walk during the daytime. Now we can walk, in the streets, but we're still being slaughtered. We're still being raped, and we're still like, even when we have made so much progress, the violence statistics, they don't come down. They are going up, if anything. So this is like the whole two thing. It's like in this city, of New York City. Now, this is what we have so far. The state of trans so far is, if you was born in New York City, you can rectify your birth certificate.
I did. I was born in New York City. I legally changed my name, got my birth certificate amended to my feminine name and gender.
Wow.
All sorts of things. Got my social security card changed. Whole deal.
Wow, people that have no idea what a great thing that is.
And we owe that to our wonderful Mayor de Blasio.
If anybody asks you for your birth certificate, you
want to burn. Very cool man.
You want to burn your birth certificate. I think that was Cuomo who did the birth certificate, didn't he?
I'm not sure, but I certainly know that Mayor de Blasio, Bill de Blasio, has been a friend of the transgender community for at least 15 years. He chaired the hearings regarding transgender inclusion in the gay rights bill in New York City, and he's always been a prince to the trans community. We love him, we honor him, we respect him, and he loves and honors and respects us. And that's wonderful.
Also, a year ago, they lifted the ban on trans-affirming surgeries, which is an amazing,
What do you mean lifted the ban?
Because, there was about, 8 years ago, somebody introduced something, a block.
To ban?
They block trans-related surgeries covered by Medicaid. Covered by Medicaid. If you have
it was Pataki who did that.
Oh, you remember that?
Yes.
I'm sure I didn't have to tell you that.
Yes, because I was in politics at the time, and that was my cause.
So once that ban came into effect,
and that's terrible.
Everybody got like no more surgeries unless you were.
They got no more hormones.
You are like
they got
wealthy.
no more hormones with Medicaid, and if they were in prison and they wanted to transition, they did not get their hormones, and too bad for them.
And this is a level of ignorance that still people consider.
It's a level of cruelty,
consider that it's cosmetic. That people consider,
I know.
It is cruel, unusual punishment to not give us our medication, because it's medication. This is vital medication that we need. You know,
this is not a new lipstick. This is like insulin for a diabetic. This is something we need to
and
survive.
how can we convey that to these organizations?
They know they don't care. They feel that the world would be better off without us because we are not what they want us to be, and they want us
They
out
think
of
the
there.
universe made a mistake. And who are they to say the universe made a mistake? Check yourself, you know, really. If you're like, you look around the whole creation, there's not a single mistake. Everybody's here for a purpose. You know, we don't know why the giraffe has such a long neck, or, you know, why the zebras have stripes, you know, why we're trans. You know, it's like we have to accept, you have to accept our humanity as a reality. Mm-hmm. And I'm quoting Monica Roberts.
And now we are almost out of time.
Okay, so
how can people contact you?
Well, my Twitter handle is translatinas_NY. You're seeing it on the screen right now. And just see me. It takes me like about a day or two to reply because I have to answer my email, which is brookecerda@gmail.com. And my Facebook, which is Brooke Cerda, and it's in English and Spanish. So just Google Brooke Cerda, and you can get the whole wealth of social media, you know, articles that I pick. I curate a lot of information that I think it is important for us to know.
Okay. Anyway, and I'm Diana Montford. Our wonderful director has been Mr. Freddy Pinto, who is yes, wonderful. Thank you, Freddy. You're great.
Makes us look pretty.
Huh?
He makes us look pretty. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that. I look pretty. Like
we're glorious. Anyway, I'm Diana Montford, glorious or otherwise. I love you. Even if no one else loves you, I love you. You matter to me.
Yes.
I have a cold. But I love you anyway. See you next time. Bye. Bye.